Welcome back to the Webby and O'Neill channel. With Bruno Fernandes' future still uncertain and Garnacho joining Marcus Rashford in being told to look for another club this summer, will we see all three of them players leave Manchester United? Get involved, have your say as usual in the comments section, and we'll try and discuss some of your comments throughout today's live video. How's your weekend been?
My weekend has been thinking about Omar Berrada all weekend since he come out with the words, "We have a plan." Well, he better execute it, because Kieran's talking about three players there. But I look at it, and Omar Berrada must be looking at 11 players could be sold. So it's Omar Berrada I'm focusing on. Yeah. These players have to go. They need to go for many, many different reasons. But I've struggled waking up in the morning because Omar Berrada, we have a plan. Well, I'm telling you, he better execute that plan and get it done, and get it done quickly.
Yeah, you talk about 11 players. I think a lot of people out there would agree that there's probably 11 players they can currently think of in that squad who they'd like to see leave Manchester United this summer. But like I mentioned there, you know, the three players, Bruno, Garnacho, Rashford, is it likely that we'll actually see them players leave this summer? I mean, take yourself back to the start of last season. I mean, you'd be hard-pressed to find anyone who would mention them three names where it's likely they can leave this summer.
Well, I look at the comments from the other day when we mentioned Bruno. Some very, very interesting comments, you know, varied all over. And I'm telling you, not many people are that bothered about Bruno going. Yes, there's different reasons, you know, for money and things like that. But at the end of the day, this is Bruno Fernandes' choice. He's the one what got his agent to get the chat, to get the contract there, to see what was on offer, and to see what was on offer to pay Manchester United. So this week, it's got to be done. And I believe it is Bruno's choice. Yes, little reports coming out this morning about, his family might not like it and all that. But these reports were here last year. Yeah. So for me, I mentioned it the other day about these reports that he was contemplating going. It's his choice. You don't start conversations like that and then back out. He's the captain of Manchester United. It is not going to look good as far as in my opinion, it's not going to look good. You know, I don't know what the conversation is with his players at the moment, but it is his choice to have these conversations and have a contract put on the table. So for me, he's going this week.
Yeah, a lot of you's getting involved in the chat already. Presumably, you've seen the title on the video. There was some latest transfer updates from Ben Jacobs just before we started the stream surrounding Mitrovic, who is in Saudi playing for Al Hilal. And the reports are stating that United are considering a move for Mitrovic. He is available for around 40 million and is prepared to take a pay cut. From other reports that I have seen, the likes of Everton are also interested. But, I mean, what's your thoughts around that, hearing that first off the bat of like United are in for Mitrovic? I mean, don't fill me with any confidence. I don't know about yous out there.
Well, it don't fill me with confidence. You know, if you look since January, I think we've been associated with the media with 40 players at least, 40 players minimum, all over the place. We're going to have a right jamboree of it's this player, it's that player. No, I don't take anything in this. It's not for me.
It doesn't seem to fit the actual strategy, what they're actually coming out with Manchester United as well, in terms of the profile of players. He doesn't fit the profile, what they've actually discussed publicly, United. Like hungry players, that's one thing, you know, and sort of like youth as well. And I think is he 30 years of age, Mitrovic, roughly around that age?
Well, it doesn't suit what we was told in the PR machine by Ratcliffe. I go back to the beginning. Omar Berrada's got a plan. I can't see this fella being in anyone's plans, to be honest with you, because he's not there for the future. You know, young players, that's what we're going for. But at the same time, there's conversations of our young players going, you know, Garnacho, you know. But then you've also got this morning sort of like Garnacho to Chelsea, possibly, with Mainu. They're looking at them too, you know. So
that goes back to January as well. There was quite a lot of talk with Chelsea looking at Kobbie Mainoo, Garnacho as well, amongst Napoli with Garnacho. So you'd expect that conversation, them links to come back up again. But with them comments, was it roughly about 10 days ago that were coming out on the reports on Garnacho, like Amorim said that you better pray you find another club, you know, along the lines of that.
Well, I look at Garnacho. There'll be no problem selling Garnacho. There will be a few people. He's got the future there. We know he can do it. Can he do it on a regular basis? I don't think he had the greatest of seasons than what he had the year before. This isn't a knee-jerk reaction from United. I think this has been coming on. It's been on the cards for a long time, to be honest with you. I think it happened at the same time with Rashford, and I think the club wanted him to knuckle down, and he hasn't done. I look at the Europa League final afterwards, the comments on social media him and his family have done, as though like, oh, he was the inspiration to get us there, and he only had 20 minutes. It's not fair. He done all the work to get us there. I think this was already on the cards, and all that is just what they do, social media and that. So getting a sale won't be a problem. And I've no problem with it, not now, because Garnacho has been warned, and I think there's other issues what have gone on in the last 6 months anyway. So for me, he's not part of the future. I don't think he's knuckled down. He was warned. We all know that there's things changing at United through Ruben Amorim, especially the discipline and everything, and he's clearly not got down to it. So for me, I've no problem for it. I just hope that we get a decent fee, and he will go. Will he go this week? I very much doubt it. I think there'll be a lot of talking and all that. I think in the next month or so, you'll see developments, but no quick sale for Garnacho. United will not let him go so cheaply. Do
you think it's more important? I want to know your thoughts and opinions, obviously, on that news over the weekend. It's official now, Kieran to Manchester United. But a lot of people, when I'm reading the comments out there, they're more interested in the player sales, getting players out the door before we start bringing more players in.
I think that has to happen. I think United have looked at the finances and they've got to... there's no point negotiating if they haven't got the money or pay it in instalments, and we need to sell players.
But this could drive a big problem as well. I mean, how many times publicly have we heard Omar Berrada? You've got him in my head now, even I'm thinking about him. But Ruben Amorim suggests that, you know, when it comes to the summertime, a lot more preparation on the training pitch with the actual players in his squad. And you just think that, you know, with player sales, that needs to be done early. That's more important than, I think, because then you've got the money on the table then to go out and get these players ready for the actual like pre-season games that are coming up in July. So this squad's near enough together in what is going to go with into the Premier League season.
I'll say this now, and I think it might be controversial to a lot of people out there. I don't think Ruben Amorim has got one bit of a clue what's going on over the next few weeks, the next few months. And I think he will just have to sit on his hands, wait and see what this club does in selling players and what players can be brought in. He hasn't got a clue on Bruno Fernandes, not a clue. When spoken to the other day, oh, I believe this, I believe that, I don't think this. Well, that's no good. We want facts on Bruno, and Bruno should have come out. Bruno has had 3 days since that last game in Hong Kong, and there is no reason whatsoever for Bruno to tell the media he's here at Manchester United. So I don't believe Ruben Amorim has got a clue on any of these players, if they're able to be sold or if they're going to stay. So I think Ruben Amorim really is in a bad place, and it won't be, I don't think, till about another 2 months before Ruben Amorim has a clear idea of what he's got to do going forward. That's my opinion.
Yeah, when you just mentioned the words clear idea, I do agree with that, especially in the next maybe 6 weeks plus. But I do think he will have had an idea before the season finished on the actual targets that they were going to go for, especially like, you know, Liam Delap's, who's obviously gone to Chelsea, you know, Cunha, etc. But, you know, at the same time, I think when offers are going to be made for like the likes of Bruno Fernandes, because of the money that's involved, the financial situation of the club, I do think them sort of decisions will be took out of his hands, though.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. If you think decisions are going to be taken out of his hands, right, you're then agreeing that Ruben Amorim doesn't know what's going on going forward, and that he's got big problems and he has to sit on his hands. Yeah. I think he'll have an input on certain players, what is earmarked But the way this transfer window is going to go, right, they're going to jump from one player to another, according to the media. I mean, the media are just jumping from one player every day. So how Ruben Amorim's sticking with it, I don't know. And he's not clear on what he's able to get. Now, we all heard about Liam Delap. That was never clear because Liam Delap went round from one club to another club, just testing everyone out. And really, United, like Chelsea, and we did say a few weeks ago that Liam Delap was going to Chelsea. We didn't really push that issue. So for us to find out that he was going to Chelsea, why weren't United pushing it? And I don't think United pushed it, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I'm just going to go into the chat. Patrick Shields, thanks for super chat, mate.
Thank you.
There may be a surprise or two on who may stay. We was also discussing earlier on this morning, weren't we? You know, if the likes of who we've just been discussing, Bruno, Garnacho and Rashford, do leave this summer. But we're going into a Premier League season with the likes of Luke Shaw, Casemiro, who a lot of fans in our comments section have been saying for a long, long time now that this summer should be the last at Manchester United.
Well, if you look at players like Antony, Sancho, and there's a few more added to the list, really, it's Luke Shaw and it's Casemiro.
Malacia
should be out of the door. Malacia should be out the door. These are the players what have to go. They're not the future. And then you look at three players what have left: Eriksen, Lindelof, and Johnny Evans. Yes, they've walked out the door, so they've freed up a few quid for players. Obviously, Kuna will probably be taking a fair share of that. But the thing is, I haven't got a clue who could be sold. And I'm looking at Antony and Sancho, and I think there's big problems there with him. Antony, fair play to him. Really over the moon with him getting on with his football, really knuckled down to it, and has performed well where he was. He'll come back to United. Will someone go and buy him? Not really hearing anything. He should have already been connected. And you have to say to yourself, this week, he should be connected to a football club. So if he's not, then you've got to worry about getting money in for him. Now, he could end up staying, in my opinion. He could end up staying. But then I look at Sancho. That's a farce. That just goes on month after month after month with Sancho. Chelsea really should have already bought him this morning. Never mind tomorrow or any other day. They've had 5-6 months. Okay, United want to sell him. There's a deal there. This is the agreement. So he should have gone this morning, not in 48 hours or in 2, 3, 4 days. Should have gone. I want him out of this club. It's a farce what's going on, and it's the farce what's going on what worries me, that he might not go anywhere and that he'll still be here, which is a nightmare for everybody at the club.
Fred Grantham has gifted 5 memberships. The five people who've been gifted them memberships. A big thank you to Fred and Bruno, Garnacho, Rashford. What would you be expecting to actually generate in terms of funds there? I've put 200 million, on the actual title. I mean, I have seen reports suggesting we might only get as little as 40 million for Garnacho. Or do you think that's a fair price based on his performances, Garnacho?
I think you might get 40 million, and obviously there'll be add-ons. Okay, so it might rise to 60 million. You know, beggars can't be choosers. We're a selling club.
Marcus Rashford, 40 million, is that fair for you?
40 million. I look at Marcus Rashford. He's been done at this club. And before I start on Marcus Rashford, right, I'm going to make it clear. Everyone knows I've had it in for Marcus Rashford for over 2 years. All right? So there's no excuses from my opinion here today. It is what it's been for 2 years. Marcus Rashford is done. He won't get his dream move. He wants Barcelona. Okay? They're not going to pay 40 million for Marcus Rashford and paying them wages. Not a chance on earth, as I see it. Okay? If they get more for him, that'd be great. And I'll be happy to have, like, my mouth wiped. But Marcus Rashford is done at this club. It looks, from reports, it'll be a loan. So you can imagine what may happen. They might get a loan, and then we pay half the wages. But that'll keep going on and on and on and on. You're not sell Marcus Rashford and pay them wages. So somewhere along the line, I think there's only a loan move for him. No one's going to pay them. I can't see anyone in Europe paying 40 million plus for Marcus Rashford and paying them wages. It's a no-no. That's how I see it. But he's 100% done. And the only thing I see is a loan. And I don't think it'll be a loan to Barcelona either.
There's no way. You think Marcus Rashford's going to end up, or will he be still here at Manchester United next season? Stephanie, thanks for keeping a tab on the likes and how many people are watching. Don says, that's it. They can't just get rid of everyone at once, unfortunately. It's a process. And, you know, we mentioned the likes of Luke Shaw. I mean, would he even pass a medical at another club?
No.
I mean, I'm being serious. I'm not even joking. Would he even pass a medical?
Said it months ago. He wouldn't pass a medical. You don't know what's in his head as well. You know, with all these. Well, you don't. You don't know what's in his head. People out there comment. Even this weekend, I've seen comments from people talking about Luke Shaw, saying he plays when he wants. He puts the effort in, and they all criticise. Everyone's criticised him about suddenly turning up and being available for the Europa League final. Boom, next thing you know, oh, got a toe injury, or he's got something else, what's wrong with him, straight after it. So for me, I don't know what's up there with him when it comes to the football. I think he's just had United right over, and he's just looked at United as like, give me the wages, I'll just turn up when I can. And he was a great player. There's no two ways about it. So something's seriously wrong with him. I think he has a problem.
Okay.
But that's me, and you've got to remember as well, it is Monday, and I'm not full of beans on a Monday on a normal week. So hopefully I'll get a little bit more up as the days go on.
Yeah.
Monday, watch out.
Yeah. If Omar Berrada starts executing the plan and you see more positive signs.
Yeah, but we don't know what the plan is. That's the thing. We don't know what the plan is.
Yeah, but as fans as well and supporters, I mean, we shouldn't be really privy to the actual plan of what's going on in the background. We'll only know that come, the start of the Premier League season or when that transfer window closes. And then as fans, we can all judge it and see if the club have actually backed Ruben Amorim in getting the players in that he desperately needs.
We should have had an announcement on certain players being sold to certain clubs, or we should have had an announcement, on certain players coming to Manchester United. This plan has been going on for 6 weeks. The moment 6 months, sorry. The moment Ruben Amorim came in to the carnage and chaos, things had to change. So the plan has been devised, it's been spoken about, it's been tinkered with, and everything. So what day did they start change this plan?
Yeah, but you look at it, we've already signed Cunha over the weekend. I mean, Liam Delap, the talks had been going on there, but he chose to go to Chelsea. There's Mbeumo there from Brentford as well. And, at this what we're near now, the 2nd of June. I mean, at this point in the transfer window, I mean, it's not too, at least they've gone for some of the targets. They've tried getting some of them over the line.
Well, trying's no good.
I know, but we've already got one. I mean, we've got to be patient. We've got to have a little bit of patience.
Okay.
I mean, if it starts getting to like the end of July and we've only got Cunha, maybe one other signing, and we've still got the likes of Garnacho, who haven't been moved on, etc., Marcus Rashford, Antony, I'll start worrying then.
I don't think we're going to get more than 3 players. I've stuck to 3 players. I've stuck to this club going out there, buying 3 players. So if that's the reality, in my opinion, 3 players, them 3 players should have already been here, regardless of any extra sales, extra money coming in, because we all know where that money's going. We all know where that money's going. If we sell Sancho to Chelsea, if they're daft enough to buy him and pay that money's not coming in to reinvest in players. That's going to pay off what we owe Dortmund. So, 3 players, in my opinion, I can't see it any other way, right? And there's 11 players there. We could all discuss and say, yeah, them players there, they could be sold. I don't want him to go. But them, But there is a conversation, right, that there is only 3 players coming in this club. And as I see it, this is the way I look at it. We've had 6 months to go and find 3 players and stick the bid in. I just don't see it out there. We've got Cunha, excellent. He wanted to come to United. Other teams were looking at him and wanted him. So they've done well to bat it off. Have they done that well? 62 million? I'm not too sure. But there was other clubs looking at him. Where's the other two? Where's the other two? They need to get over the line. I want them in, and I want them in this week. This is what I'm trying to say. Okay? We've got till the 10th of June. Then there's a break until the 16th of June. We want them players in. And I said it months ago. Said it time and time again. We need them players in. Them 3 players all signed and sealed, right, in the first fortnight. Okay? So we've got till the 10th of June as far as I'm concerned. Oh, we've got big worries.
Yeah, it closes. Is it the 10th of June?
10th of June it closes.
Then reopens again. Is it the 16th of June? All to do to the Club World Cup. But going back into the chat, I Am Titanium says they're sending Sancho back. Marcus Stevenson's opening up a bit of a debate here on the captaincy. I don't rate Bruno as a captain. I could name 7 or 8 better captains in the Premier League. And it's something that a lot of you's got involved with on the last video in the comments section about who you'd like to see as the captain if Bruno does leave.
Well, he's spoken highly of Ruben Amorim, De Ligt. We did mention De Ligt a few months ago. We did
The leader.
The leader, yeah. That's it, a video there. So if you check that out, the leader video, we did speak. Our opinion was De Ligt's a future Manchester United captain. And he has come out this weekend talking about Ruben Amorim, how approachable he is and everything. Now, is that like greasing up? Maybe, maybe not. He might already be talking about you could be the captain because, like I say, Bruno has made his choice. He's talked about leaving. So for me, the talk about Bruno's going to go. And if he does stay, I don't think a lot of players and a lot of people at the club will be happy with it because it's put up, for me, it puts where other players don't believe he'll be here next year.
Don't
then the talk, well, they won't believe his words.
Yeah.
They won't believe his words because last summer, the conversation about Saudi, this summer, there's a deal on the table. So what happens next year? So for me, players will be looking at him and think, you're not leading me because I don't trust where you're going next year. You're not here for the future. That's how players will look at it.
Yeah. And you will have fans, not just the media as well. I mean, if he is here, Bruno, and he throws a stinker in 90 minutes, has a really, really poor game, people will then start questioning his commitment as well, based on the actual performance in a game in isolation, due to all this going on now in the summer with talks with Al-Hilal.
Well, it won't go smoothly with all the talk about Saudi. And if things go wrong early doors with United, then you look at like this conversation coming up again and again, and then you've got the January. But you also got to remember it doesn't shut in Saudi till I think it's October. Correct me if I'm wrong. But it doesn't sit well with me, this. I like Bruno Fernandes. No, listen, I'm not saying I hope he goes. Look, if he goes, that's great. Okay, for him. Okay, it's not great for Man United. I would have liked him there for another 2 years to fight his way through and bring this team along with him, this new team, this new regime and everything. But it's not going to happen. And when you look at it as a whole, look, big clear out, get them all gone. Yes, he's 30 years of age, nearly 31. What's the problem? We are rebuilding, remember, and you have to remember that. Let's get rid of the old guard. Let's get rid of Luke Shaw, your Casemiro, and all these other players we've mentioned. We're starting again, and it's going to be tough. But let's be tough and let's fight together without people doubting others, thinking, are you going to still be here? You're my captain. Nah, we need a new captain, we need a new leader, and we need a fresh start. And wherever that takes us, let's back it.
Yeah, I like them words, good words. And I'm going back to thinking about what you was mentioning about free summer signings. That's what you've been thinking all along, and you could possibly be right there.
I'm always right.
Well, you're always right, yeah. But there's been a lot of emphasis from Ruben Amorim, people behind the scenes. Even Ratcliffe has said in interviews publicly about the youth development at the club. And we could actually start seeing that this summer.
We're going to see it. We're going to see it. We're going to see a smaller squad. There's no choice. There's no choice. That's how it's going to be. And it's going to be tough. And that's why I think we should have them 3 players in by the 10th of June. Okay? Because that then the transition to what goes on is them 3 players are there, then you've got a small squad, and then you've possibly got 9, 10, 11 players what could be sold, and we wouldn't be worrying about it because we'd see a nucleus of a new team, a new setup and all that, and we wouldn't be having to worry about Garnacho, Rashford, people like Antony, Sancho, because we know they'd get out one way or another, out on a loan or anything. It wouldn't matter. But what matters is having a nucleus of a new team in there, 3 players, but early doors, and the 10th of June is my date. And I see no reason for 6 months dilly-dallying, right, waiting to sign 3 players. They should be here. This club should have sorted it. The plan has been out there. They've discussed all types of plans. And at the end of the day, a lot of these plans, what they've done, have just gone pear-shaped. This one can't go pear-shaped.
Just for all of you who have just started joining us over the course of the last few minutes, in the title as well, Mitrovic, it's been mentioned by TalkSport, Ben Jacobs in particular, so it's up to you whether you take it with a pinch of salt. But they're saying Mitrovic could leave Al Hilal this summer, with Manchester United said to be interested. The 30-year-old has scored 68 goals in 79 appearances since joining them from Fulham. He said that the Saudi side are interested in the Napoli striker Victor Osimhen as a potential replacement, so he'd be going to Al Hilal and then Mitrovic leaving to go somewhere else. And like we mentioned before, that doesn't fill me with a lot of confidence. I think any player who's currently over there in the Saudi league, if I was to take a punt on him, would be Ivan Toney over Mitrovic, my own personal opinion, but I don't think we should be going over there to go and sign any players for me personally.
All these players you're mentioning, they're getting too old now. It's not what United are looking for. We want to be right at the bottom. This is how we're starting. This is the recruitment. This is the way it is. And they've all laid it out. This is the type of players, age group and everything we're going for. So all this, might as well throw in Jamie Vardy.
I tell you what, I bet there's 1 or 2 people out there who said they'd take Jamie Vardy right now over Højlund. I bet he is.
There's probably a few out there saying I'll take Jamie Vardy over a few of the players you've already mentioned on there. Yeah. What Ben Jacobs and all that have mentioned, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, you know.
The reports of Højlund, though, they're not going away. It's always linking him with Inter Milan, Juventus, the Italian clubs. Do you think any of that would materialise, or do you still think he'll be wearing a red shirt next season?
I think he'll still be here. That's my opinion, and I've said it. I've no reason to change my mind. I think they bought him for the future. They might have made a mistake, but he's still too young as a striker to let go. And I think they'll give him 1 more year.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they'll give him 1 more year and see what they can get out of him.
But does it give you any confidence, though, now with us missing out on Liam Delap, which it looks like it was either the first or the second target, whichever name you prefer, with Gyökeres maybe being the first one, that we will actually go out and get an out-and-out centre-forward. Seeing Mbeumo there from Brentford being linked, he does score goals, but he's not that natural number 9, you know, that centre-forward goal scorer, even though he can provide goals maybe from like that 10 position or wide right position.
Look, you can talk all night about confidence, this, that, and it. Has anyone out there got any confidence in this club? Anyone? I very much doubt that anyone out there can trust these doing the job, what they're supposed to do. The Glazers are in charge. They're in charge of the money. And that's where it all stops. You really trust these people to do what they're supposed to do. It's clear as day to you out there. It's clear as day to me what should be done. But we say this every year, okay? Every year. And no one can trust things getting done. I can't even trust that we sign 3 quality players. And now I mean quality players when I talk about 3 players, okay? Not 1 good player and 2 duck eggs, right? What we've got in on a loan. I don't trust these doing it. And I very much doubt anyone out there can trust the process.
Yeah, a few people getting involved with the Jamie Vardy comment. Daniel says, signing so far been good since Ineos. I think he might have said since Ineos have come in. I mean, you're looking at Dorgu, Aiden Heaven. Aiden Heaven looks like a real talent, though, you know, for the future. Man, you even now, some of his performances that I've seen, no, you shaking your head?
I'm shaking my head.
Go on, tell me.
Decent player, but it's not what you need in the Premier League right now at this club. He's there to be introduced, brought in, and he'll come on. he will come on. There's no two ways about it. But no, not for me. I've always said we need a strong centre-half bringing in.
Yeah, still question marks on Martinez as well to see how he comes back after that long injury layoff. You know, if he can get back up to speed.
Well, look, we've lost two bit part players as centre-halves, or in the back three, as we call it. Right, we've got Martinez out, and we've got Harry Maguire, who he himself tells you his body can't take it. Well, everything's on the Premier League next year, okay? That's what we've got to fight for. Harry Maguire will not be able to cope with it. And we know De Ligt has been picking up injuries. But people are forgetting it's a centre-half we need. We're in the mire when it comes to a centre-half.
Just like to thank you all for joining us today, getting involved with your comments.
Brilliant.
Yeah, hopefully you're a little bit more cheerful as well now, you know, getting everything off your chest, don't you know, on a Monday.
I'm cheerful, but it's Monday. You know, sometimes on a Monday, I have things like going over my head, and it was Omar Berrada. We've got a plan. Yeah, they've had a plan. They've had a plan for years, and it keeps changing and everything. Yeah. And it's no good for us. And this summer, I intend not to crack up, right? I intend to, like, let you know, 10th of June, 3 players I want in. And we should all expect 3 players, because the plan has been looked at since November. Soon as Rashford and Garnacho in December were dropped, the plan was them 2 out. No two ways about it.
Yeah, we did see plans change all at the start of last season with Eric Ten Hag, Dan Ashworth as well. But yeah, let's just hope, fingers crossed. You know, it's a promising start, getting Cunha in through the door, an exciting player, which I think a lot of fans are on board with, who can actually put an actual, you know, a good quality into the starting 11 that will raise the levels as well. So if we can start, you know, getting more players in like him, I think there'll be a lot more confidence amongst fans. You're looking at me, Liz, to say, what are you talking about?
No, I just look at it, you know, we talk about plans and everything. If you go back to last year, there was a meeting after Formula One, and I think that meeting, I think the Spanish Grand Prix was this weekend, and I think there might have been a meeting over there.
Like what? What do you mean? Meeting as?
You know, Ratcliffe and everyone else, like, you know what I mean, getting a little chip, because Laurie Whitwell told us last year, remember, that meeting came out and he gave us the info on it. So I think the meeting here, everything's going to go on. And I am worried. I am worried. I'm still happy, but I am worried, because these people sometimes remind me of, like, a cheerleader in a Yates's wine lodge at 11 o'clock at night, just like rambling on and then staggering out saying, I've sorted it, don't worry.
Yates's, eh?
Yates's wine lodge. Goes back a few years, that. Yeah. Most people won't know what a Yates's Wine Lodge is, but hey, I'll move on from that.
Just like to thank you all for joining us today, getting involved in the chat. If you want to help support the channel, please smash a like on today's video, and we'll be back tomorrow with another Manchester United chat. And let's hope there's some good news, some news surrounding Omar Berrada's plans with other players coming in.
We'll find good news.
We'll find it.
We need it.
Enjoy your day, everyone, and we'll see you again soon.
Thank you.
Thank you.